Dear friends, we have with us Comrade Murali Soundarajan, the President of All India Bank Officers Confederation. Welcome, Comrade Murali Soundarajan. We are from Voice for Public Sector YouTube channel. We know that the Finance Minister has announced while presenting the budget that they are going to privatize 2 banks. How do you see this?
The government initially, when they came out with the Atmanirbhar vision document, they have classified certain industries as critical sectors, and at the same time they have made it a point to profess in the said document that their intention is to have 4 to 6 units in the public sector and the rest to be privatized in a phased manner. In the same manner, the Honorable Finance Minister, carrying forward the vision contained in the Atmanirbhar vision document, has announced in the floor of the Parliament that the outset the government plans to privatize 2 public sector banks in the first phase, the current fiscal, and so that ultimately the rest of the banks will be taken up for the privatization in a gradual manner later on, depending upon the success of this probably. But unfortunately, it is a very major setback to the employees of the public sector banks. In fact, while you look into the component of the employees of the public sector banks, almost 70% of them are below the 35 years of age, and many of them have reneged the career in a lucrative private sector to join the public sector with the avowed objective of contributing towards the national nation building, and at the same time lured by the comforts of the collective bargaining and the regulated working environment offered by the public sector banks. So to this extent, it has created a great ripple effect on the employees. In fact, when the government announced the merger and carry forward the merger, there had been not such a reaction from the membership, but many of them have thought that it provides a vehicle for them, the merger provides a vehicle for them in reaping their ambition of transfers and other things. This privatization announcement, on the other hand, has upset the mental equilibrium of the employees working in public sector banks.
Why the Finance Minister did not announce the name of the bank?
It has to be viewed in 2 objectives. So it is a blessing in disguise because once the 2 banks are announced, probably what personally I feel is it might not have created the same ripple effect as we are witnessing today. The momentum which has now gathered against the public sector, for the public sector against the private sector, probably might have missed. So probably it is a blessing in disguise, and what we learn from the reliable sources is that Niti Aayog has made a presentation of all the 4 or 5 unmerged public sector banks with SWOT analysis and presented to them to the DFS so that they can carry forward with their mission.
There are 12 public sector banks in our country today. What impact it will have? Suppose if they are going to privatize 2 banks, what impact it will have on the public?
See, on the heart of it today, I have the solidarity badge we have wearing for the Catholic Syrian Bank. Catholic Syrian Bank today perfectly showcases what is in store for the employees, for the public in case of any privatization. Probably we need not tell today what will happen if banks are privatized. We can just tell whatever is happening in the Catholic Syrian Bank will happen in other banks. So from the public point of view, there will be a severe discomfort in service delivery mechanism. In fact, you will be very surprised that a parliamentary panel headed by Mr. Jayant Shah, when after studying the effects of the privatization, they have come out with a recommendation that the merger has not brought in any benefit to the clients of the merged public sector bank. It has only created discomforts, and in fact a lot of clients from these acquired entities have gone to other banks, I should say. They are feeling left out. The clients of the merged entities are feeling left out in the process.
The current government is having absolute majority or brute majority in the parliament. Is it possible for the 10 lakh employees to fight against these government policies?
Sir, it is twofold. Probably a lot of exasperation is there even on the minds of the people. like Modi government commanding brutal majority. You are using the word absolute. I am using the word brutal. Brutal majority, they can stonewall, and given by the experience of their expertise in even camouflaging the legislation, like the important Aadhaar legislation, they camouflage it as a money bill, and they bypass the route of the Rajya Sabha also. They can resort to any things. In fact, a lot of speakers in various webinars, they are also of the view that you need to have a tremendous willpower to stonewall. And I feel that ultimately in a democracy, public opinion is a touchstone of the any process, and no political party in this country can survive if they make it probably in a wider canvas. They don't care for the public opinion. In fact, this government, I strongly feel, though they are making a very strong face outside, they are bothered about the internal ripples it has got. In any sustained campaign, we are confident that we will be able to succeed.
Thank you, comrade.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.